Hello again, back on it. We're in the small garage, but not the really small garage. Well, I suppose it is. I don't know if I've had to knock a bit out of the wall to get the car in here. What's happened is I've been away, I've done Bovington Rally, which was really good, really enjoyed it. Well worth doing if you think of doing it. It's very fast, very wide, you can make a few mistakes and get away with it. I did make quite a few mistakes, unfortunately got away with most of them, but yeah, it was one I didn't really, but you can't really tell looking at the car. And I finished the rally, which is good because I've had a spate of not finishing. I've had problems with the gearbox, the gear lever, that's all sorted now, fingers crossed. I broke a drive shaft on the start line of the second day at Bovington, which is a shame because we were doing quite well then. And then I broke the other drive shaft in the second day of the Jersey Rally. So yeah, a bit disappointing. As you can see, I've got a selection of drive shafts, but they're all 40 years old, so that's why I went and made the super strong ones, but I didn't have time to get them on before Bovington. So it was actually the 328i shaft, well, ends on the 325i shafts, which seemed to work, but I'd still rather put the bigger ones on. Anyway, what I'm doing today is I've got to take the engine out of this car and it's going to be rebuilt. There'll be a video about that. It's going to Strigley, he's going to strip it, he's putting new cams in it. I've over revved it a few times because of getting the gearbox wrong. If you are flat out in third, or no, what, I go first, second, flat out in second, and instead of third I keep getting first, so that's yeah, it's rev quite high. And the engine builder, Andy, is a good bloke. He said over revving the engine is like telling your wife she's put on weight. He said you might not get a problem straight away, but you know, it could be the next week, could be the next month, could be the next year, it's all going to come on good. So as much as it's working very well at the moment, the engine, I'd rather get it done, peace of mind. And Andy's a good bloke, he'll give it a once over and make sure it's all right. It's not long since been built, but yeah, I don't want to go to the expense of going away and then having a problem. Anyway, I'm going to take the seats out because the seats are dated. It's a bit dark in here, I'll have to get a torch, I think. And the harnesses. So because I won't be using this car for a bit, I think the next rally I do is in June. I've got the other car, the one that I straightened, but the seats and the harnesses are out of date in that. So I'm going to take them out of this and put them in the other one. And then that makes the other one compliant. And I can do, we've got a couple of quarry rallies, so I can use that car for those. That's the navigator seat out. It only took a couple of minutes, and the door only opens that wide, and I'm amazed I managed to get the seat out of it. I've taken the harness out, that's on the floor. Yeah, the car's, it's still looking nice and clean and good. Down here, I did some extra work after it had been painted, and I did some cutting and grinding, and I obviously didn't clean all the swarf up, so that needs a clean up. I'm not saying I'm going to clean it up, but it needs a clean up. Yeah, what was happening was after a stage, when I went back into the pits, the front right wheel was locking up, the brake was stuck on. So released the nipple and the caliper, the pad moved back and it was all right after that. But first corner on the next stage, there was no brakes. And then they sort of came back, which was a bit worrying. But I've got Wilwood cylinders on the pedal box, so I think I'm going to change them to AP. The Wilwood ones they weren't the cheapest, but they were, I think they were £30 or something each, and the APs are £120, but apparently they make all the difference, and I like brakes, and I don't like not having them. Oh yeah, you can see a bit of rust where it hasn't been sealed properly there. So when I do the master cylinders, I can give them a once over. The clutch one's fine. Clutch was working great. I was happy with that. The brakes were great when they were working. It's just not knowing if they're going to work or not. It was always the first corner of the stage, and they about 3 times there was nothing, and then they worked after that. But you know, you're a bit unsure. Right, let's get this seat out now. I've just found the GoPro as well. So that's one the service crew must have put on. So that'll be interesting to have a look and see what's in there. That's where I keep mine. That's the top of the box the GoPro came with, I think. No, that's a strap that goes around your chest. And I've just glued it to the ceiling and stuck the GoPro on. And I like it about eye level and about the same position as the eye level, because you get to see quite a bit. These are the new seats that are going into the white car. Well, not the white car, the white and blue and red car. They are fiberglass OMP first R. And in here we have the extinguishers. So we'll get them out and have a look at them in a minute. So we've got the rally coming up. I need to get the up-to-date extinguishers in, and the seats I've just taken out of the car. So these are going to go in the car I've just taken the seats out of. These are brand new. The ones I've taken out of the car, I've got a bit left on there, the dating. But the rally I'm going to do is dusty and dirty, so I'd rather put the old seats in the dusty, dirty car and have the good seats for the good car. I've got these extinguishers in the good car as well. I fitted the set not long ago. So yeah, this is the extinguisher kit. This is it's all the new FIA regulations, PD extinguishers. These are straightforward. I can put M6 nuts and bolts through the floor on that. I'll put a big washer on, hold them in place. They're the pull cables, nozzles and T-pieces. Bolts for bolt in. These are the brackets to hold it down. You have to drill holes in those. Straps that go around the brackets and then around the big extinguisher. That's the plumbed in one. There's the pipe work and sticker pack. So I believe I've got 2 nozzles to go in inside the car, pointing at the driver's and navigator's legs, and I think there's 4 that go in the engine bay. So I'll see more. There's going to be instructions somewhere. I'll just double check, but it's not long ago that I fitted some, so it should all be fresh in my mind. They're a bit fiddly getting the pipes in, but there's actually an extinguisher in the car now, so there should be holes for the pipes to go through and brackets to hold the nozzles. Everything I use will be from this kit, so I won't use anything from the old kit. Right, that's the driver's seat out. Yeah, these are 2019 harnesses, so they're well out of date, even though they're pretty much like new. But I'm not allowed to use them anymore. So I'll take those out. That's the plumbed in extinguisher. So I'll take that out. I'll see, I don't know, I haven't got a fuel tank in this car, so it might make it easier to bolt the extinguisher to the floor, which is normally a problem because you can't get underneath it with the fuel tank there. It depends on the length of the pipe work. Handheld should be straightforward enough. So what I'm going to do is take the navigator seat out, which passed their dates as well. They're 2015, I think, so they are quite old, and that'll give me more room to move about. So it'll just make it easier plumbing in the system and getting them all in. And then once the extinguisher, seats and harnesses are in, yeah, good to go. It's all up to date and ready to rally. Right, we're back in the garage now. That's why we've got a torch and it's a bit dark, but I've fitted the bottle in the back, in between the 2 seats. So I had to be careful because running along here is the tubes with a handbrake cable in. So basically I've run a pipe that goes to a nozzle that sprays onto my side, and then from there it bends round, comes up here, and it goes to nozzle there. So that sprays down navigator's legs. Then it runs along, goes through the bulkhead where the fuel pipes go through as well. So I'll have to put a bit more sealant on there. So that's the inside done. And the seats are in, the harnesses are in. They're pretty much where I want them. The intercom's connected up to the harnesses. So that means the interior is all done. There's nothing else to do. We'll move on to the engine compartment. It was a lot easier working on the outside because it is a bit tight in here. Right, so the pipe is just running nowhere at the moment. Just goes to there. So this is a bracket where the original extinguisher went, but the new ones won't fit in. So I might make a bracket and put it on there. So I've got to put 4 in here. So I presume 1 in each corner, just to cover the whole engine bay. So that's my job to do now. I'll get that done, and then I don't think there's anything else I need to do on the car. I think it's all done, all ready to go. Which should be good because we've got a rally next weekend, I think it is. So it'll be a good shakedown. There's 2 of us driving it, so it won't get much of a rest, and you know, we'll get some miles in it. So if anything's going to go wrong, hopefully it won't, but yeah, it'll be a good test drive. Right, let's get these nozzles in. Just got a bit distracted then. Originally the throttle cable came through this hole here for the outer cable, and it connected to that part there. And I've been having problems with because the throttle pedal's been modified, I wasn't getting full throttle. So now I've gone on to the shorter parts. It should need less throw from the throttle pedal. I'll have to get someone in there to put it on full throttle, make sure I'm getting full throttle, and make sure the throttle stop behind the pedal works, because that's how you snap cables otherwise. Right, see if I get distracted again, try and get the nozzles on. Right, it comes out the bulkhead where the fuel pipes are, goes into a T. This side is in the corner, well, all in the corners, runs down to this side of the corner where it comes off the T. It runs along to that nozzle behind the last cylinders, along the inner ring and into that nozzle. So apparently they do 45-degree angles of spread, so they should cover pretty much all of the engine bay. One thing I did forget to do is put the handheld inside, so I'll get that done now. Plenty of pipe left over, so I didn't have to worry too much about where the bottle went. In fact, it's a nice easy kit to fit. I just used a little tiny pipe cutter. I'm not sure where I put it now. Little blue thing, you get them from anywhere, B&Q I suppose. I think I got one off eBay, but that just seems to cut the pipe all right. And I've got these self-drilling screws that are they're little Phillips screws, panhead. They're from dry lining because I'm a carpenter. I use those, and oh, there they are. Jack point screws, so they have actually got a drill bit on the end. So self-drilling. So you just put them in the screwdriver and screw the P-clips on. Right, I think that's it for the... Oh, one thing I did notice as well, just because when I went out, the windscreen was dirty the other day, and I tried washing it with the windscreen wipers, and I thought, that's funny, there's no water. And now I found there's no water tank. So that looks like a space that'll be available for it. I don't know, I think I've got one somewhere. I'll have a look, otherwise I'll order one, they're only cheap. And I'll get that in, because it's a gravel rally I'm doing, so the screen is going to get dirty. Oh, hang on, no, it's inside the car. There is one in there. Yeah, the pipe comes through. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's behind the footrest. I'll have to check the wiring. It might even have a switch on the Concorde's dashboard. There might be a switch I didn't know about. So it's like chitty chitty bang bang, this car. Right, let me get the handheld in. That's just going to go in front of the seat. There. The more I work on this car, the more the wiring needs sorting out. But I haven't got time. So the windscreen washer bottle, which is there, had a permanent live to it, and which was a brown wire, and it had a blue wire coming from it that went to the stalk, the windscreen wiper stalk. So I fiddled and found out the steering column's not earthed, so I earthed that and it still didn't work. So I presume the indicator stalk sends an earth to the windscreen washer bottle. But who knows? I don't know. The wiring on this car, there's just dead ends and bits, and it's just a mess. Everywhere you look, there's just wires dangling. It needs a really good sort out because there's so much wiring that's not required. But anyway, I ended up it used to have an electric power steering pump, but now it's for the windscreen washers. So if we go through a puddle, it's just windscreen wipers flat out, flick the switch, tell the windscreen's clean, it'll just keep squirting until it's turned back off again, and we'll have to just keep topping up the water. It's better that way than having to keep your finger on a button and try and do corners and stuff like that. So that's that fixed. The extinguisher is in position. One thing I wasn't 100% keen on, unless I've done something wrong, to open it up. Oh, blimey, it is stiff. That is so tight. And the back one is, I don't know if the back one's as bad. Oh no, the back one's alright. Yeah. I suppose if you're upside down and there's a fire, you're gonna manage to get it undone. I might see if it loosens off a bit. I've just checked the engine pull on the scuttle. I pulled that and it killed the ignition. I know the extinguisher one's okay because I've just done it. So yeah, I think that's everything ready to go. I hope it's gonna last the rally. So we'll see how we get on next weekend. Looking forward to it.